So, I want to talk about something that has shaped my life in ways most people will never see. It's called Myasthenia Gravis, or MG for short. And unless you live with it, you've probably never heard of it because that was exactly my case, right? I didn't hear of it until I got it. And honestly, that's exactly why I'm speaking up. So, for a long time in my journey, I stayed quiet. I would say at least the first year, definitely the first year, and even a little while after that. And part of it was out of survival, part of it was shame, and a whole lot of it was me not wanting to be the sick girl. I didn't want pity, I didn't want to be seen as weak. I just wanted to be normal again above everything else. So I was still processing. But MG does not care about your plans at all. It doesn't care if you have dreams and goals. It doesn't care if you're ambitious. It doesn't care if you have people depending on you. It doesn't care if you're strong-willed. MG humbles you. It slows you down and really forces you to reintroduce yourself to you, to figure out who you are at your core. And once I got quiet enough to sit with all of that pain, I found a purpose underneath it, this purpose. So I'm choosing to speak up. I'm choosing to use my voice because this illness doesn't get to silence me anymore. And I hope that through my lack of silence, I empower others to speak up as well. So if you do not know what MG is, it's an autoimmune neuromuscular disease. And I know that's a lot to say, so I can kind of break it down for you real quick. Essentially, my immune system is attacking itself. It's attacking that signal, that connection between like when my nerves and my muscles are trying to communicate. And that makes things, the everyday motions, kind of tiresome, fatigue, like the repetition. So talking too long, smiling, holding things, sitting up, swallowing, walking, all of those things that are simple suddenly are not so simple for me. And there is no cure for MG, but there's just management. And that's what I'm doing, managing. So on the outside, most of us with MG look fine. And that's why it's called an invisible illness, because you may not be able to see those symptoms. But I promise you, it's not invisible to us. It affects every part of our lives. So for me, MG pretty much has touched every part of my life, my relationships, my lifestyle, my mindset, my energy, my self-worth. There were days when I couldn't get out of bed, days where I forgot what it felt to not be exhausted, to not feel this heaviness, days where I didn't even recognize myself when I looked in the mirror. And y'all, that can really do something to your spirit. It can break you if you allow it to. But in this journey, I've also learned, how to listen to my body, how to tune in, how to move slower, how to be intentional, how to build a life that honors both my dreams and also the limitations that my body is setting forth for me, And those are some of the things that people don't really talk about. That grief, that guilt, the grind of learning how to live differently in a world that doesn't really make space for you when you're chronically ill, that doesn't really make space for you when you're different, when you're seen as lazy or not as productive, So I'm speaking up. I'm speaking up because I know for a fact that there's somebody out there Googling their symptoms and feeling like they're losing their mind and they're at their wits' end, because I was her. I'm speaking up because women, especially women of color, are often misdiagnosed, dismissed, and ignored. I'm speaking up because somebody needs to know that they're not lazy, that they're not being dramatic. You know what I'm saying? That your body is fighting a battle, and just getting up every day is an act of rebellion and courage, and I'm so proud of you. I'm speaking up because when we tell our stories, we reclaim that power and we make room for others to heal. And we remind ourselves that we're still here. Like, we've been through hell and we are still here. We matter. We deserve a life of fullness and softness and joy and rest and all of the great things, you know? So I hope this resonates with somebody else out there. And I just want to close by saying that if you are living with MG or any invisible illness or chronic illness, I see you. And I just want to encourage you. I know that you're doing the best that you can, and that is more than enough. You are more than enough. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to power through and push through every day. You get to rest. You deserve rest. You are human, okay? And if you're watching this video and learning about MG for the very first time, thank you for educating yourself, because it just, we learn more, we do better, right? So awareness saves lives, literally. You might see somebody and be like, oh, that sounds like MG. So yeah, anywho, my story is not everybody else's story. And if this makes just one person feel less alone, I'm grateful, and it's worth telling. So this is why I tell it. And I'll be sharing more about MG this month, because June is MG Awareness Month. What MG looks like, how to manage it, how to keep showing up with grace and grit and just glorifying God through the middle of the storm. So please stick around. If this resonated with you, like I said, share it with somebody out there who might need to hear it. And again, I'm Morgan, and this is what it looks like to live with myasthenia gravis.